Hello. Welcome to another episode of Dropping Into Happiness. We are your hosts. I am Rachel.
And I'm Maggie.
Over here doing finger guns. Pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
She's ready. She's ready to go.
There's a funny story when I went to the University of Kentucky, University of Florida football game this past college football season.
Fun.
Which I'm a University of Kentucky alumni, and
Yay!
we're a college football family, not a NFL family. So we went, and Seth is a University of Florida Gator fan. And the first time we went to this game together, it was UK ended up beating Florida for the first time in like 30 years. So I was like, woo, but we were at the Florida Gator Stadium. So it was like I had to be like very, yay. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't be very expressive. So this past year we went again, and UK ended up winning again. I feel like I'm a good luck charm. But Seth was chuckling because every time we'd move the ball forward, I would be like finger gunning towards the direction of that goal. Because again, like I never wanted to cheer too aggressively because we were like always in the Florida Gator section, but I would be like doing small finger guns like
oh my gosh. No, I know the feeling.
Now I associate that.
I lived in Houston for 6 years, and so I'm a huge Houston Astros fan, but now I'm back in Southern California, and my cousin and I went to an Angels game together when the Angels were playing the Astros, and I was like the only one with an Astros shirt on, surrounded by a sea of red angels, and I was like, hey. It's a very weird feeling. Very weird feeling. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Oh, and you know what? I did not get up, so let me see. We had, guys, a few weeks ago, I got on our Insta, so shout out to our Instagram. If you guys are not getting on our Instagram and interacting with us, I 100% recommend it. We absolutely respond. We talk to you guys one-on-one. Should you message us privately? I do. Me and Maggie try to talk to you guys, answer your questions, but I specifically asked you guys for podcast ideas. And listener Jade, shout out to Jade.
Hey,
one of
Jade.
Jade's questions, one of Jade's questions was...
I wonder if it's Jade Rocks Kitchen. I love her. If it's the same Jade.
You know what? I wish I would have put it. I go to your site and I try to find your actual name instead of your handle, just so I know what your name is. Well, Jade said, what is your nighttime routine? What do you like? What would you recommend on adding in? And what have you tried in the past? What benefits do you get from a nighttime routine? This would be incredibly helpful since one of the areas I would like to build on this year is creating one that supports my sleep, active, and food pillar. So if you are new, and we say the word pillar, I want to say Maggie said it in the last episode too, just in case you're like, what is a pillar? In WW, which is the program Maggie and I both use, there are 4 pillars: food, activity, sleep, and mindset. And if you focus on even just one of those pillars at a time, you're focusing on your wellness, right? So sleep is one of the pillars. So we're going to focus on the sleep pillar today because Jade said so. So thank you for your topic today, Jade. So
Jade.
I know, I'm like, Maggie, do we want to go down the questions or do you want to just like talk it out?
Okay. Maybe ask me the first question so I don't just...
What is your nighttime routine?
Perfect. Great place to start. So I will say I'm one of those people who eats dinner very late. I eat dinner usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I did see... I wonder if I saved this because y'all, I've mentioned this in a previous podcast episode. I wear Whoop, and that's what helps me track my sleep and recovery, and I'll probably bring that up a few times in this. But I saw the Whoop said this was a holiday hack, but they said limit food 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. They said recovery decreases an average of 10% following late night eating. Members also lose approximately 26 minutes of sleep and get approximately 3% less REM sleep.
Ooh.
I like, I'm a firm believer that we use points to track our food in WW, are the same if you're eating at 6 p.m. or you're eating at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I don't think it really affects weight loss, but the fact that it affects my sleep and recovery, I was like,
yes,
I'm intrigued by this. But for now, just so that might be something I'm working on in the new year. But I eat pretty late, 8:39, and we always have our meal and we watch a show on TV that we've recorded. That's like me and Seth's
I don't know why I thought you were
community
going to say it,
time.
and then we sit down and watch Wheel of Fortune. I don't know why I thought that was a show you were going to say.
Jeopardy though.
Right?
We're Jeopardy. We're
Work
Jeopardy
your brain.
people.
Work your brain.
And playing Jeopardy with Seth is the worst because he's actually very good at it, and I can't even read the question before he has said the answer. So we watch at least one show, sometimes two, depending upon how spicy I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But then I'll usually have my treat at the end of towards the end of the show, or the beginning of the second show. And then what I do is I'll go in once the show's over and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed. Then I'll go in and I'll do like make sure my face is washed, make sure my teeth are brushed. I'm incorporating flossing in 2023. So if y'all don't floss, this is your sign. Don't get cavities like me, okay? But so I wash my face, do all of that, and then I pretty much hit the hay. I do not scroll on my phone at night in my bed. Now, I will at times do it on the couch, and that's a habit that I'm wanting to break, is like scrolling at nighttime, period. But as it stands for my current nighttime routine, I definitely don't scroll in bed. I plug my phone in away from the bed. So one, so I'm not tempted to scroll. Two, so I will get up when my alarm goes off because I have to get myself up. But because if I sat in my bed and scrolled,
you lose time. It's like
I would
vortex.
stay up so much later. And I still do this sometimes on the couch and find myself like staying up later than I really should, like ignoring my sleeping cues of like, girl, you're tired, go to bed. Also with my Whoop, it will calculate like based off of the sleep that I had the night before and my strain for the day, like just doing basic activities and then whatever workout I did, it will suggest a bedtime. So like if it knows I want to be up by if it knows I want to be up by like 6:15 in the morning, it'll say, okay, for 100% sleep performance, you should be in bed by this time.
Wow.
And that's really cool. Now sometimes
that is cool.
Like, you should be in bed by 8 o'clock. And I'm like, yeah, not happening.
But that doesn't mean sleep to me.
Right.
You to be in bed by 8. Yeah. Just starting to let your body relax, wind down. Yeah. That doesn't mean sleep to me. Yeah.
I don't read in bed. I have my Kindle that I keep on the end table by the couch, and I'll sometimes read that at nighttime, like if Seth wants to watch football or something, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just read.
Yeah.
But I don't do any technology in bed. We even have a TV in our room, but it doesn't work. I just need to get rid of the TV. But I don't watch TV in bed. Like it's like the bed is bed, and usually I can like knock out pretty quick by the time I'm in there. So I think like that's the gist of it.
I love that your Whoop would like give you a recommended time, because I have my Fitbit, and I used to have Apple Watch for a really long time, but one of the things I do love about my Fitbit is my sleep score. I love getting to look and see like where I'm up, how many times I'm waking, how many times I'm turning, if there's a snore report. I love that because it'll tell me how much REM I got, how much deep sleep I got. I really restorative sleep that I got. I really, really love that. So mine fluctuates depending on because I'm a nighttime shower girl, but I'll shower at nighttime like every other night, but also depending on what I did that day. So like say I did go to the gym, then that could be, 3 nights in a row.
Right. Yeah.
But really, and I started doing this last year about like an end time for my evening. Like this is when I'm done for the day, because I was doing so many things. I even actually just had somebody reach out to me on Insta, and she was like, hey, I went to go to one of your workshops on WW and I can't find you anymore. You're not doing it. And I was like, I had to step back. I was getting, for one, really excited about a lot of things. Like I started putting in more hours at the station, doing all my WW, and then we're doing the podcast. And like, I also freelance for another business. And I'm like, I was just doing way too many things. And so I was finding myself working until 10 p.m. and then not being able to go to sleep. So my current, like we're saying, so current nighttime routine, 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I start to like put things away, but like my hard set time is 9 o'clock. But I like to start getting winding down by 8. And what that means is at 8 o'clock, and my husband knows this too. I'm like, okay, am I getting your coffee ready for tomorrow? Do I know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow? Am I laying out my snacks for tomorrow? I'm going to lay out my clothes right now. I'm going to set out my, my little get ready area. What else do I need? Because especially this week too, I've been doing my 20 ounces of water before I leave for the day. So I'm trying to make sure one of these is filled up and sitting in my get ready area so I could just start drinking it first thing in the morning. So I like to have all of those things done. I like to know, like I said, what I'm wearing the next day. Like just have everything laid out. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it doesn't, but I like to know that everything is laid out. And then I'll go take my shower. I like to shower by like 8:30-ish because I'll do my shower, wash my hair, wash my face, and I do some of my nighttime like facial routine because I like to be laying in bed by 9 p.m. Not necessarily sleeping. I like to be laying in my bed by 9 p.m. Because a lot
amazing.
I know, well, and because I know you don't read it, but I have my Kindle right next to my bed, so I'll like to pull up my Kindle. And like my husband usually will come in there and he'll watch TV in the bedroom, and I'll read on my Kindle, and I'll read until about 9:30, and then at 9:30, my Fitbit and just my Apple iPhone, my iPhone does this little ding 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 to tell you it's bedtime. And my husband can hear it too. So it's bedtime. So I usually put my book away or my phone or whatever I was doing. And he can have the TV on, but then I just curl up. I get, oh my gosh, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pillows. One of them looks like a little bat head that I got at Marshall's one time. It's like my favorite. So I do that. And then I roll over. I tell him goodnight. And by 10 p.m., I can be gone, lights out. Yeah. I actually can fall asleep pretty good, even with the TV on, because I've just gotten used to my husband having the TV on. I just pull my blankets up a little bit so I'm like it's not so bright, and I'm good to go.
I would really like, I say this, but y'all don't hold me to it just yet, okay? We're working on other things. But I would really like to have a specific bedtime that I aim for, like, every night. I just kind of like, it's a general window, but it's not like, okay, by this time we are in bed. I have heard the morning routine starts with the nighttime routine. So I kind of forgot because as you were mentioning, I do always make sure my water cup is refilled with ice, and it's either in the bedroom with me or in the bathroom. So because that's like usually the first place I go once I'm up. So that's important. And then I had implemented a new habit in 2022 where I get all of my clothes for the week hung up on my clothing rack. So that's already done. So it's like a Sunday night specific. And for the Christmas season, my mom, shout out mom, got me an industrial size like steamer that like people use in the retail stores, because I used to work in retail, and we have the nice with the hose, and she got me one in pink. And I'm so excited because I love not having wrinkled clothes, but I hate ironing, and I had this like really cheap hand steamer, and it would take forever. So now it's like so fast. So that those are really important elements, like kind of thinking about the first few steps of the morning in the evening can make a really big difference to your morning routine too, which we had an episode on routines not too long ago, but we didn't really dive in to her specifics.
I know, and you mentioned that a couple weeks ago, and I did do a link to that episode. And I think it was the summertime. It was when we were going back from like when my kids were going back to school, you were going back to school. It was right around that time. So it was like August.
It was. Right. So I pulled up the message so I could kind of get a gist of what some of the questions were. So what do you like? What would you have recommended on adding in? What have you tried in the past? So I think something that I would love to start doing, someone mentioned, I heard this in a workshop, that they, the 3 good things technique, writing down 3 good things from the day. I would love to do that in the evening. Me too. And then they mentioned reading it again in the morning. So you have like that fresh, you start the day with a bit of positivity and you end the day with a bit of positivity. And I actually thought, because I was like, okay, well, how could I actually make that work? Considering when I go into my bedroom and I'm in my bed, I'm pretty much like passed out. Yeah. Is putting a little book on the back of the toilet. Like a little book
Yeah.
that's like for three good things. And like,
Yeah.
I always end the day in the bathroom. I start the
Yeah.
day in the bathroom so I can do so I kind of I'm thinking about adding that in. Y'all, I may have mentioned this in a podcast before, but again, I'm the kind of person where I hear all these ideas and I'm like, oh, I want to do all of them. And then maybe like one or two stick. So
And that's okay though. Yeah.
but that could be a thing that sticks, but that's definitely something I would consider adding in. Another thing I want to add in is blue light glasses.
Yes.
Have you heard about like the science of all of that?
Absolutely. Like these ones, I don't remember if I have them on these ones. The ones I had that I was wearing on our last podcast, full blown, because I'm on the computer a lot, especially at work. So I have the blue screen protector. Because if not, it hurts my eyeballs. I can tell on the days that I don't wear my blue protector that my eyeballs are strained by the end of the day.
Right. I want to, like, once I am winding down for the night, if I'm scrolling on my phone, like, I should be wearing blue light glasses. That's something I want to implement.
You and I both order from Zenny, and Zenny, you can get just blue ones from Zenny. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do for, I'm going to get one pair just to have, like, on my nightstand, basically, or on my end table, because I have a little end table by the couch with my Kindle and stuff. And I think with the Kindle, it doesn't have blue light.
I don't know. I know the paper white, because there's a couple like Kindle, Nook. They have some that are paper white, so it doesn't. It's not like a computer screen. It's very interesting.
That's what I have.
Yeah, those do not have blue light.
Just like in the lighting, it adjusts. I don't know, but
yeah.
Still, I feel like anything that can kind of cue you for winding down, like we were mentioning last week with the gym shoes.
Yep.
It was like even just putting on those glasses could be a cue for like, hey girl, you're winding down.
I'm glad you said a cue thing too. Okay, because I love aromatherapy things. So I have like a specific shower gel that I use at nighttime and a specific lotion that I use at nighttime. It's not the one that I use during the day. And the one I love, my favorite that they don't have anymore is bergamot coriander, because I do me a Bath and Body Works one. But I will find one that I'm really enjoying, and then that's the one I use. I don't use it during the day at all. In the morning, during the day, no, I only use it at nighttime. But guys, if y'all are like, oh, I hate the smell of lavender, it does not have to be a nighttime smell. Any smell you want, you can make your cue. You can have it like if you just start using it. Remember, we always say the consistency is key. If you want it to be brown sugar smell or whatever, if that's the scent you only ever use at nighttime, and you do that consistently, it will get to a point where your body smells that and it's like, oh yeah, okay, this is what we're doing now. And it'll start to relax and calm down. So use that smell. Like I said, I have a specific lotion and a specific body wash that I only use at nighttime. It is not a daytime use kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's something I like to do too.
I think with one of the questions being what benefits do you get from a nighttime routine? I think from any routine, it's a cue. It's what your body expects this. I think living in chaos, your body never really will know when to wind down. And so if you have those specific things, like for me, that idea of putting on the blue light glasses, or going to the bathroom, and if I have my contacts in, taking out my contacts, or like washing my face, like those are cues. And when you have those things consistently happening, then your body knows. Like I know when I'm going into my bedroom, it's to sleep and to sleep only. Like that's the only thing I do in my room. But I really think that consistency and routine makes a difference with any aspect, but even with nighttime to wind down, because sleep is so important to, Jade said this would be helpful since one of the areas I would like to build on this year is creating one that supports my sleep, activity, and food pillar. If your sleep pillar is on point and you're feeling rested and well recovered, then you're going to make healthier food choices. You're going to get to the gym, or hit your activity goals, because you're not being you're not trying to run on fumes. And so, but if you think about, okay, I want my routine to benefit all three, well, getting to bed at a consistent time will impact your sleep. My Whoop tells me, like, members who have a consistent bedtime have higher recovery overall. And then with activity, like if you work out in the morning, like make it a part of your nighttime routine to set out those workout clothes,
Yeah.
Or even if you work out later in the day, you could still do it as a part of your nighttime routine.
I do. Yeah. I put it in my gym bag. So my gym bag is ready to go in the morning. So I know that I'm leaving.
Right.
But guys, I mean, think about that when it was saying about your food pillar and your sleep, because if you are not getting the amount of sleep, what do we need to function throughout the day? We need energy. Well, if you're not restoring your energy with your sleep, where do you turn to try to get it from? And your body will crave energy. And a lot of times what that craving feels like is for sweets, is for sugars to get that instant boost of energy, which ends up crashing later. But yeah, your body will crave more sweets if you're not getting sustainable REM restorative sleep. So that's one of the reasons sleep affects your food pillar. But like Maggie said too, like if you don't have that energy, how are you going to give it your all at the gym? Do you even want to go to the gym? You want to go home and take a nap now? Like it can really affect a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then if thinking about, part of your nighttime routine directly impacting your food pillar, it's like, okay, packing your lunch bag for the next work day, or, writing out your breakfast menu. So you walk into the kitchen the next morning and it's already there. So there are definitely tons of different directions that you could go. But again, I want to say, don't be like me. I think like when I hear someone, but that makes it sound like I'm putting myself down, and I'm not trying to, because that's a beautiful part of me, is that I, dream big and I want to do all the things. But when I hear someone's positive like evening routine or morning routine, I think, oh, I need to do every single element that they do, or I need to try all the things that they suggest. It's like pick one and implement it for a while. And then once you feel like it's becoming more second nature, more non-negotiable, then you can add in another layer,
Definitely.
Don't feel like you have to shift your entire nighttime routine overnight if it's something that you're working on. It's just like any aspect of our health and wellness journey. It's all baby steps.
Well, and friends, these are things that work for us. But like I said, if you're like, ew, I hate lotion, don't put a lotion on. If you're like, I love winding down watching TV in the bedroom, then wind down by watching TV. You know what I mean? Like, find where you are and what's going to benefit in your routine, what's going to feel most natural. Because what feels most natural is what's going to turn into a habit as well. It's something that you're like, I can absolutely do that. That sounds like something I can do. Run with it. And like Maggie said, it can be we have an entire podcast called Benefits of the Baby Steps. Maybe you implement it one day this week and then you're like, oh, cool, that felt good. And then you do it 2 days the next week, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, find where you are right now. What are things you enjoy? I mean, I even did for a while. Oh gosh. And why did I even stop doing this? I loved listening to, I would put on, because I have an Alexa like in my bedroom, I would put on beach waves. Because my brain, especially when my brain is going a mile a minute and I cannot get it to stop. And I'm thinking, what do I have going tomorrow? What do the kids got? I need to make sure I get here. And I just can't stop it from moving. I would put on beach waves and just literally focus to the sound of the beaches. And then I would fall asleep. So many things that you can do, you can try.
There's this product that I'm interested in, but it's an investment. I think it's around $100. And if any of you podcast listeners have it, please let us know in the comments, the show notes, wherever you want to post, because I want real people. The only people I've seen talk about this are like, they're real people, but they're like Instagrammers or TikTokers, and I'm like, I want someone real to tell me this. But which is crazy. Someone could be thinking that about me. Anyway, when we follow people on the internet that we don't know in real life. Anyway, the Hatch alarm. And it's this alarm that wakes you up like the sunrise. Like it starts creating this general glow, and then you can pick sounds to go with it, like chimes or things like that. And it's a sound machine as well. Like at night, you could do like the white noise or the waves, or there's even like a red light, where that apparently has science behind it, where that helps you to wind down, kind of like in a sauna. Sometimes they'll do like those infrared lighting, because
it's not as harsh. Like they say too, like if you're in a tent with other people and use a red light, you can see fine and it will not affect them whatsoever. So you can still see, but it's like your brain is thinking the lights are out.
That's crazy. Yeah. So it seems pretty fun, and it seems like something I would want to try, but
I'm going to tell you right now, that's how my son wakes up, but it's not with one of those. He has the LED strip lights around his room. We got him so it's long enough so it goes all around the top of his room, and they slowly start to light up in the morning, and that's how he wakes up.
That is so cool.
I know. Yeah, and those were not $100. Just FYI.
And I think about how it goes, like, because Seth and I are on slightly different sleep schedules, and I'm like, would it work? Like, I don't. Of course, he wakes up a little bit when he hears my alarm goes off in the morning, but I just wonder how different it would be with like a light situation. It's but that's something I'm curious about.
Interesting.
Hatch, because you can do the sounds and stuff like that.
I like that they call it hatch, like you're a little baby bird hatching every morning.
Exactly. I feel like it is probably where they're going with that, is like you're just kind of hatching. You're easing into the day versus like the abruptness of like, and you can use it to wind down too. So
well, that's why I like the vibration alarm. I don't like, if an alarm goes off, I wake up with like a jolt, and I don't like that feeling. I don't. So my watch doesn't make any sound at all. Obviously too, though, because I get up before my husband, it's a vibration. A lot of the smartwatches will do that now too. So it's a vibration. There's no sound whatsoever, and that's what wakes me up. I'm afraid I wouldn't wake up. You know what? My coworker said that too, and so she wanted to try it. So she did her Apple Watch and a separate alarm. She doesn't even do the separate alarm now because she's like, oh my gosh, it totally does it. Like it totally wakes me up. So she just kind of eased into it. Like she likes it so much better
on a
too.
Vacation. So,
yeah, she likes it so much better too. And like if I want to wake up on the weekend and I'm like, oh, I don't want to set an alarm. The vibration really is not. It doesn't have that same like jerky
jarring effect.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I feel like we talked a lot more than we thought we were going to on this topic. So there you go, Jade. Yeah. Hopefully something clicked for you. Yeah, hopefully something clicked that you were like, ooh, I want to try that. Or, ooh, that's a good idea. Or it sparked another idea. Because I said that in my video on Instagram the other day too. Friends, we don't always have to be trying to solve a problem. Maybe let's just brainstorm something we want to try. Let's brainstorm something that we want to see if it could work. Or if like, hey, because I'm telling you, I'm a creative person. But if I have a new idea, I kid you not, I'll call my mom. And sometimes she doesn't have to say anything. I just start talking things out and I'm like, thank you so much. And she's like, I didn't say anything, but you're welcome. Like sometimes it's just talking things out and brainstorming. So I love that we can do that together. But all right. So goals and recommendations. So I went first last week. So you're up.
Star goal, wash, rinse, repeat, tracking streak, and going to weigh in studio on a Saturday morning workshop. Recommendation. I have so many different ones I could say right now, but I'm going to go with a perfume because Rachel was talking about scents. Yeah. And so it's not really related to our episode, but it's just a product I've been loving. And I really want to do like a products like favorite purchases of 2022 or something. I just feel like that would be kind of fun, like for Insta or something. But yeah. Anyway, it's a perfume. It's called Glossier, Glossier, Glossier YOU. And it's one of these perfumes where like just out of the bottle, it smells good. But then they've designed it in a way that it's supposed to adjust to each individual's like pheromones. Yes. So it smells slightly different on everyone. On the website, it says it's not one of those perfumes you wear to become someone else. Mostly it smells like you. Soft, warm, familiar. We designed everything about it to feel open-ended, like it'll grow with you no matter where you are in your personal evolution. It's not a finished product. It needs you. So it just
I'm worried mine would smell weird.
Well, this perfume was like amazing for me because I, for the longest time, would smell perfumes on other people or would smell them out of the bottle and be like, oh, that smells nice. And then on me, after a while, they would smell sour. Like it just didn't mix with my body's chemical makeup as well. And so I was intrigued by this. I was like, ooh, this might work because it's going to adjust to like me. Yeah. And so far, so good. It was a Christmas present, but I've been wearing it every day. And they have a solid version too that you can put in like your handbag and it's like a little deodorant, but it's your perfume.
I'm wondering if from day to day your scent could change because I mean, our body's composition is constantly changing. So
yeah, it says it's supposed to grow with you.
I mean, I told you I love me some science. Like that's interesting.
It's just, I'm smelling it on me right now. And I'm and it's fairly affordable for perfumes. Perfumes can be kind of like
holy cow,
pricey.
They can.
I don't know why.
My son's cologne that we get him, it's like a special occasion thing. Like we will not buy it on the regular. It's like $120 for a decent sized bottle. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's yeah. Right. And so this is because it's a little bit more affordable. I feel good using it like daily. Like I'm getting. I don't feel like I have to savor it so much.
That is super cool.
So loving that.
Awesome. Okay, my goal this week, because I told you guys a few weeks ago, the holidays really threw me for a loop. I just got really out of my routine. So, and it's been fairly decent weather here in Southern California. I mean, I feel bad to tell some people, but it was 78 degrees on Christmas.
Ooh.
I mean, it was, we're not seeing winter weather.
Can't complain.
This last week we saw a little bit of rain, but like really not enough to wear a heavy jacket. I mean, it's just not that cold here. So I want to get outside some more. Like, now that we're not having as much rain, I really want to get outside, and I want to walk twice this week. It doesn't have to be my 3 miles like I used to do. I just want to get outside and go for a walk. So twice this week, I'm going to go for a walk. That's my goal. My recommendation, I use Hum Nutrition. I was telling Maggie this earlier. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Hum. That's where I get my vitamins from. Like, you can even get on their website and be like, these are all of the things I want to focus on. And they'll give you a recommendation list of certain vitamins that you can use to focus on. I love Hum. It comes every single month. It comes automatically. You can change your box. I've tried new things. There's actually one that I've really, really liked using. I think it's called Keep Your Chill or Chill Down, or because I can get really stressed out at the radio station. It's very high paced, and it really helps me keep just kind of not get all shaky and like full of anxiety, which I really, really love. But I get my regular multivitamin from there. I take an extra vitamin D. I love them. But they always have these little pamphlets, and then my pamphlet that came this week, it said there should be what did I tell you it was called, Maggie? Like a no zone. Like a no cell phone zone, no technology zone. Like, especially if it's in the evening, like Maggie was saying, like, she's like, I don't have my cell phone in the bedroom. So that's like a no zone for the phone. And it could just be at your dining room table. It could be when you're doing an outdoor activity, but have a no zone, have a no cell zone where you don't fiddle, especially, but though when we're talking about, our nighttime routines, maybe the second you sit on your bed, that's a no zone. If you're on the bed, that's a no cell zone. So that could be helpful. So I just think find your no zone where you can take that break, that breather for your mindset. I think that could be a good, that when I read that today, I was like, God, I love that idea, having a no zone. So
no zone.
Woo! All right, guys. Well, next week we should be having a special guest. We will announce it more when it comes onto Instagram. So hopefully we can announce that special guest coming up next week. But keep sending us your ideas. I do have more on our list of things that you guys have asked for us to talk about, but we are always open to talk about subjects, topics that you guys are looking to talk about as well. So, I mean, we're in this with you guys. So we want to talk about what you want to talk about. So, All right, though, friends, we're going to wrap this up. Do we have our quote, Maggie?
We do have our quote. Our quote is, the future belongs to those who prepare today.
I like it, right? Because, I think both of us like to do that. We like to prepare for the next day because we're preparing for it. And then we know what's going to happen. I don't like to feel chaos in the morning because then I know I can sleep better at night. So. All right, guys. Well, it's been another good one. So thanks for dropping by.
And have a magical day.
Bye.